Good morning, ResCom kids. Zach here again, moving on to Esther chapter 7, picking up where we left off. Now, a quick recap from Esther 6. Remember, at the end, Haman was being escorted by the king's servants to go to the banquet that Esther was preparing just for him and the king. Remember, she asked them in chapter 5, like, hey, come to this banquet, this feast that I'm going to have, but it's special just for you guys. And now we know Esther is setting it up to ask the king to save her people, and probably it will affect Haman. But let's jump in, see what happens here. Oh, king, my husband. Ah, yes, my wife. Mwah. So glad we're here. This feast looks amazing. Why, of course, it is special. Just for you and Haman. Where is Haman? Oh, I see him over there looking at all the food. Ah, this looks great around here. Yes, of course. Well, let me show you some of the things we have here that might be appetizing to you. Let's see, we have, of course, blueberry puffs. And if you don't like the cracker version, you can, of course, eat real blueberries. They're a little bit healthier, I think. And then some other options include Honey Nut Cheerios, one of my favorite cereals. And, of course, you can't eat cereal without milk, so we have our little milk gallon there. But what else do we have? Oh, we have rice cakes too. So all of this, everything that you see here and over there where Haman is yours. Oh, thank you, my wife. Thank you. Now, remember, I will grant you any request. As I said before, up to half my kingdom, I will give you whatever you want. What is it that you would request here at your banquet that you've made for us? Oh, of course, king. Well, I only have one request, if it please the king. Yes, what is it? That you would save my people. See, my people have been sold to be killed, annihilated, which includes me, the queen. What? Who would do such a thing? Tell me, who is it? It is him, Haman, over there. What? Haman! Yes, king. What? I can't even look at you. Now let's pause there for a second. Chapter 7 gives a lot of detail about what's happening in this specific conversation. So they have this feast, and the king is there, the queen, Haman, and the king reminds Esther what he said in chapter 5. Which was, if you want to grant me any request you can, or I will grant you any request up to half my kingdom, which was a formal phrase that kings would use to be polite, kind of just saying, ask me whatever you want, don't fear. And so Esther go ahead and asks her, or asks him to save his people, but she points out that there's this person who wants to kill all her people, and I would mean her, and the king can't take it, so we find out that it's Haman, and he gets so angry that he just walks out into his garden. He can't even be present with the queen or Haman. So we'll see what happens here in the rest of the story. Please, Esther, save me. No, I didn't mean it. It's just, please, spare my life. I can do nothing for you, but the king. Please. What? I leave to go to the garden, and you attacked my wife, falling over on her couch? Oh, guards, take him away. What is there to do for him? I know. You built a gallows for Mordecai next to your house. Guards, have Haman hanged on the gallows that he built, and kill him there. No, king. Alright, so it seems like maybe not a lot has happened in this chapter, right? We're only like 4 minutes into this video, and that's the end of chapter 7. But again, this chapter gives so much detail to the conversation. So the king went to the garden, and then when he comes back in, Haman's just clawing at his wife, begging that he wasn't died, that he would be spared, and the king walks in and sees that as, first of all, he accused the queen, he was going to kill the queen and the queen's people, and now he's, falling over her and grabbing her robes. And so it just seems unseemly, and the king is even more aggravated. So he gets his servants to basically tie up Haman. And then the gallows that he built in chapter 5, which were so tall, they were like 7 stories tall, and he was gonna hang Mordecai on it. The king actually had him hung on those gallows. So, pretty dramatic ending to the story, right? Chapters 5, 6, and 7 are climax of the story. Chapters 5, 6, and 7 were just one thing after another building up, and now we see Haman, who was so prideful and wanting to kill all the Jews and all the provinces of the kingdom, that now he was actually killed himself. And we know that other places in the Bible say, like Proverbs, it says that pride goes before a fall, where we see the pride of Haman, and we see it here. The pride of Haman was so high, and then he just fell, ultimately to the point of death. But what's interesting is we have, a God, or Christ, who was the total opposite. Christ is the King of the universe, the Creator, our Redeemer. He's the ultimate authority, and rather than using that position to elevate himself or to be prideful himself, we have a Savior who actually comes all the way down in humility. He comes down to save us. So we see just the opposite of that in Haman in dramatic fashion in this video. So that is chapter 7, but we still have 3 more chapters to go. So Haman's dead, but what else is going to happen? And you guys can take a second to think about that, take a while, as you imagine what's going on in the kingdom, what's going on in Esther's head, what's going on in the king's head as these events are unfolding. All right, I will see you in the next video. Bye, kids. Miss you guys. Love you guys. Praying for you. See you soon.